Hey guys, welcome and ting and ting and ting. And I've checked out cities from other places like the Ireland, your Romanias, and other cities, from Slovenia. Yeah, Slovenia. Things to do there and all. This time we're gonna go with Belgrade here. We're gonna go with this Serbian city, Belgrade, and this is a travel guide. Best places to visit in Belgrade, Serbia.
One of the oldest cities on the European continent is Belgrade, which is situated where the Danube and Sava rivers meet. The largest city in the country of Serbia. 2 million people live in Belgrade. The people of the city still bear the scars of a violent and horrifying war-torn past. But Belgrade has survived the test of time and is still a popular travel destination in Europe. Once you arrive in this capital city, you might want to take a stroll along the riverbanks, eat at one of the city's renowned restaurants, or board a boat to take in the view and unwind. This city offers so much to do that you can never have enough of it. Let's explore the top activities in Belgrade.
All right, let's see it. Bring it on.
Belgrade Fortress.
Ooh.
The Belgrade Fortress is perched atop a high ridge overlooking the meeting point of the Danube and Sava rivers. It is among the most well-known tourist destinations in Belgrade. More than 2 millennia ago, it encircled the entire city and kept it safe from invaders like the Romans, Huns, and Celts. The slaughter and conflicts, meanwhile, are long in the past, and today all that is left is to enjoy the fortress for what it is. But the fortifications here were actually pumped up in the 15th century by a Serbian leader. The fortification, which takes up a sizable portion of the land, is astonishingly unaltered. Along with the walls, the designated fortress area has a church, a museum, and a number of well-liked parks. 2. St. Sava Temple. St. Sava.
Okay, now I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it because I say it in other videos too that I do of other countries. This is a little touristy thing here, as far as I could tell. I'm interested in it because they take you to sites like the fortress there. You understand what I mean? Because I like walking in that historical vibe. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm also interested in rural areas. The ones that actually keep the culture intact. You know what I mean? Like any other rural areas. Countryside areas keep the culture intact. Even in my little island. In the city side, we kind of modernize for a third world country. But you go to the countryside and the folklores are still being kept. And so I'm interested in all of that, you understand? But going to the city areas of them and going to these sites and, the museums and stuff, I'm all into that too. So, let's keep going here. This starts off really good because I'm interested in fortresses and castles and palaces and all of that stuff. I'm interested in all of that. It's all part of the history.
The second biggest Orthodox church in the world and the largest in the Balkans is a constant landmark in Serbia's capital. From every approach to Belgrade, you can see the church's white granite and marble facade, and the 50 bells that sound new may be heard all over the city from its vantage point high on the Vrekar Plateau. The temple was erected on the spot where Sinan Pasha, the Ottoman Grand Vizier, destroyed St. Sava's relics after discovering that his image had appeared on banners during a Serbian revolt in 1594. 340 years after that incident, construction started in 1935 and was completed in 1989. The 4,000-ton central dome, which was built on the ground and lifted into position, presented the toughest hurdle. 3.
Okay, something, now, some people said that, it's Balkans and not the way I pronounce it. Now, my A's sound kind of different. I know it's it's an A there, but it sounds like I'm saying Bul, B-U-L, but I'm actually saying Balkans. It just sounds like it's because of my accent. So thank you for pointing that out there. But I'm seeing an A when I say it. It just sounds like I'm saying a U because of my accent. So that's why it sounds that way when I say it. And a lot of people have problems even here in America with me when I see certain things because of my accent, even after all these years. You know what I mean? Sometimes I have to have people with me translate what to say because, it sounds different than the way they say it. That is just the accent.
Nezmiova Street. There will always be one street in every city you visit that exudes charm and is crowded with people from all over the place. The same is true of Belgrade's Nezmiova Street. The street connecting the Stari Grad from the fortification to Republic Square bears the name of the Serbian prince. It is the ideal place to go shopping when in Belgrade. You may find anything from high-end worldwide brands to neighborhood boutique shops. After finishing your shopping, you may also stop by one of the tempting cafes and eateries located here. The street, which is less than a mile long, dates back to the Ottoman era. But it wasn't until the 19th century that the wealthy began constructing residences here that it truly came into its own. 4. Garda's Tower. Monument from the Austro-Hungarian Empire is lifted over the right bank of the Danube in the oldest portion of Zemun. Since it was constructed in 1896 to commemorate 1,000 years of Hungarian colonization in the Pannonian Plain, the Garda Tower is also known as the Millennium Tower. It was one of many significant projects completed in what was then Hungary to commemorate that milestone. It had an eclectic design and was built atop the remnants of a medieval fortification. There is a small display on Zemun and Garda's illustrious past within, and you can climb to the top for a breathtaking view of the Danube and its confluence.
Wow.
5. Avala Tower. It's not difficult to drive from Belgrade to this communications tower, which is the tallest building in the Balkans. Another emblem for Belgrade. It sits atop Mount Avala and has a troubled history. The tower was finished in 1965 but was destroyed in the 1999 NATO bombing of Belgrade. The 4-year renovation was completed in 2010, and for a few hundred dinars, you may take the elevator up to the observation deck, which is 135 meters above ground and has a cafe with panoramic views.
Oh, wow.
For breathtaking panoramic views and distinctive architecture, visit Avala Tower. You may enjoy a stunning 100-kilometer view of the city after ascending this TV tower. This is one of the most well-known landmarks in both Belgrade and the former Yugoslavia. 6. Sava Church. The oldest church in the city is located against the northeastern walls of the Belgrade fortress. The building's precise history is unknown, however, it has undergone a number of demolitions and rebuilds. The earliest mention is from the 1400s, but once the Ottoman Empire took Belgrade in 1521, it was duly torn down. The current structure was constructed in the 19th century and incorporates walls from the fort's former gunpowder magazine. It needed restoration after World War I. Ivy covers the exterior, while the interior features some odd chandeliers built from shell casings and bayonet blades from the First World War. The oldest church in Belgrade is smuggled into the slope of the Belgrade fortress. In fact, it is located beneath the Zindan Gate in the fortress's northeastern walls. You are aware that it will take many hours to thoroughly visit the Belgrade fortress, right? You will undoubtedly witness newlyweds making their way to the church on Sundays and in the spring or fall if you visit this modest chapel. They will appreciate it if you wave at them or compliment them on their beauty. 7.
See, that's the thing about wars, man. They just keep destroying stuff that would be cool to go visit. You know what I mean? We go, one group go into another group's area, and or we're going to destroy everything that of their identity. You know what I mean? And just destroying cool stuff that we could go and go, oh wow, this was built so long ago. This is cool. This is history. I'm walking in history. That's just sad that we do that. When we could have so many beautiful things that we keep alive, you know what I mean? For future generations to enjoy. And to say this is how we were then and how far we've come, or what has taught us the ingenuity to come to this point, you know, so that we could keep doing that to make things, I don't know if you want to call it better, but you know what I'm saying. But we just don't. Let me turn this, let me put this phone on mute here because, you know, I don't get calls from anybody except telemarketers. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Public Square. Home to some of the city's most significant landmarks and a bustling business center, is located at the southern end of Nezmiova. This location serves as the meeting point for more than 20 trolleybus and bus routes, making it popular among Belgrade residents. In the heart of Belgrade stands Republic Square, at the nexus of the past and present according to some. Take a tour of the National Theater and Museum. The statue depicting Prince Mihailo riding a horse, which was erected in honor of his accomplishments during the 19th century, is a famous feature of Republic Square. Republic Square is now a well-known tourist destination in Belgrade due to its attractiveness, cafes, bars, and restaurants. It's a popular gathering spot for Belgrade residents. 8. National Assembly of...
You know, that's something that they don't have here a lot. Squares. You know, where people could just go sit and hang out and stuff. They have parks and stuff, but, you know, a square would seem to be of a more community type atmosphere. You know what I mean? They don't have a whole lot of that. If they do, it's a shopping place. There's a place like 3 blocks down here. It's called the Pullman Square, and they have a nice little center in the area, middle in the center, a nice little area in the center where there's like seats and stuff to sit and all of that. And you see people sitting there and talking, eating ice cream, and and that kind of stuff builds community. And in Europe you find a lot of squares, you know what I mean, where you see people just sitting there and chilling and things.
Serbia. The National Assembly building in Serbia is arguably the prettiest and most picturesque structure in the city. Previously, the Parliament of Yugoslavia resided here, and after that country's dissolution, the Parliament of Serbia in Montenegro. Access to this massive boulevard structure is restricted due to its official use, although you might ask the Belgrade Tourism Board about a tour, as they are occasionally organized. The rest of the time it serves as a photo opportunity, either during the day or at night when it is illuminated. It should come as no surprise that Belgrade's New Year's Eve celebrations take place at this famous monument. The National Assembly is the location where Serbian history was penned, undoubtedly among the most stunning structures in the country. Slobodan Milosevic was forced to concede defeat in the presidential elections here by the Serbian people. Following protests at Republic Square on October 5, 2000, the Serbian people ultimately won the cause they had been fighting for at the time. The largest revolution in modern Serbian history has occurred. Decisions that will affect the future of the nation and its citizens are taken in the National Assembly. 9. St. Michael's Cathedral. The 1830s era neoclassical church in Belgrade, which is close to both the castle and Princess Ljubica's residence, played a significant role in Serbia's struggle for independence. A monument that dates back to the 1500s and was often destroyed under the Ottoman Empire only has the most recent iteration. Be sure to take notice of the extensive use of gold leaf in the icons and murals painted by Dimitrij Avramovi and the iconostasis in Troyer painted by Dimitrij Petrovi, a Vienna-trained artist. The two men are regarded as the top Serbian artists of their generation. Stefan Euro V's relics from the 14th century are kept in the cathedral, along with the graves of other national heroes like Vuk Karadžić, who changed the Serbian language in the 1800s. 10. Belgrade Waterside Promenade. The greatest sight in Belgrade to view the Danube is from this waterfront promenade. A long green space with plane trees and lavish views of the Sava River's confluence with Europe's second longest river begins right below the Avala Tower. Engineering work elevated the embankment, which prevented these banks from flooding annually, and widened the pedestrian walkway to allow for leisurely strolls along the water. A small fleet of boats is waiting if you want to take a trip on the Danube, and there are restaurants every few steps. Many of them are on barges and other aging ships.
Oh. Okay. Now that was quite interesting. See, and that's why I like to watch these videos here. They show a side that nobody really pays attention to outside of that area, you know what I mean? And makes you go, wow, that's probably somewhere I would like to visit and see what it's like there, see all the sights and see all the historical buildings and learn something about the history of the place. You understand what I'm going to say? I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video with me. I will leave a link in the description to this video so you can go check it out without me babbling. I'm going to also leave links to other videos that I've reacted to on Serbia. Y'all go check it out, drop a like, subscribe if you're so feel inclined, and hit the notification button so that you know when I put out a video so you can check it out and thing. In the meantime, y'all take care of each other, alright? Cool runnings.